The second key principle of the serve is pronation, or the inward to outward rotation of your forearm. If you're utilizing the correct grip in the kinetic chain, pronation allows you to position the racket face correctly at contact with the least amount of adjustment. Pronation also allows for spin, a very important part of your serve's development. As you go through these drills and progressions with me, you'll notice we very much want you to learn a spin serve first. This is because the technique required to hit a spin serve is very close to what you'll be using to hit your flat serve. Also, there's many inferior techniques used to hit a flat ball into the service box. If you're still doubting whether or not you should learn a spin serve first, keep these few stats in mind. Pro players typically hit a much flatter first serve and a lot more spin on their second serve. On a good day, a pro player's flat first serve goes in 65 to 70% of the time, but they almost never miss their second serve. That's because the spin allows them to go higher over the net, creating a larger acceptance window, making it more consistent. How do you hit a forward spin over your head that is going to bring the ball higher over the net and down into the court? You're going to do that by striking the ball as the racket's pronating out. If the ball was the face of a clock, you're going to try to hit the ball from 7 o'clock to 1 o'clock as the racket turns out. This is going to make the ball spin forward, going higher over the net and safely into the service box. Okay, for our first serve progression, we're going to try to hit the ball, or spin the ball rather, from our wrong side position. Now, before you do this, notice how close I'm standing to the net. You're going to lose a lot of momentum from here, so you're not going to be able to hit hard yet, but also you very much want to be process and not outcome oriented. Trust that very shortly we'll have you from the baseline coaxing the ball in the direction of the service box. So, also, when you do the drill, always start from your starting position. So I'm going to go from my start to my turn to my hairbrush to my wrong side, and then I'm going to do the drill from here. Now I'm going to just go from my wrong side position to my wristwatch position. I'm going to freeze out here in my wristwatch position and see if I can get that ball to spin from 7 to 1. So let's give it a try. Stop in the wrong side position and then just practice the last part of this swing. Okay? I want you to do this at least 10 or 15 times. And then do your shadow swing before going to the next progression. And remember, if you ever feel like you're losing your spin or you're not getting a forward spin, jump back to this progression until you feel like you got it back. Okay, let's review. When doing the progression where you hit the ball from the wrong side, remember to still start from your starting position. Then go through the swing until you end up in the wrong side position. From here, toss the ball and spin the ball over the net, freezing in the wristwatch position. Okay, continental grip, arms relaxed, weight on my front foot. Starting position, coil back, the turn position, coiled in, knuckles up. Hairbrush position, racket comes over your head. Wrong side position, wristwatch position, and then the finish position over your opposite arm. But let's try to do it a little faster now. Let's try to get our fluidity back. After all, it is a throwing motion. See if you can get the racket to start accelerating as it drops over your head from the hairbrush position. See if you can make your racket swoosh. Shadow swing fast now. Okay, for progression number 2, now I'm going to start from my hairbrush position. The only difference from this is, after I hit the ball, I'm not going to stop in the wristwatch position. I'm going to let the racket continue following through over my opposite arm, and I'm going to finish in our finish position. So again, I'll get a little more momentum. I'm still going to start from the starting position. I'm going to turn, brush my hair, and now I'm going to go into my spin serve. This time I'm going to freeze in my finished position. Notice how my body's up and at a 45-degree angle. My eyes are at contact, and I've swung over my opposite tossing arm. Again, I want you to do that 10 to 15 times before you do your shadow swing and before moving on to the next progression. Notice how I start from my starting position. Turn, hairbrush. Okay, let's review. When doing the progression from the hairbrush position, still start from your starting position. Go through the motion and freeze at the hairbrush position, then proceed to spin the ball over the net. Remember, finish over your opposite arm and keep your chin and chest up towards contact. Now time to shadow swing along again with myself. Okay, continental grip, arms relaxed, weight on my front foot. Starting position, coil back, the turn position, coiled in, knuckles up. Hairbrush position, racket comes over your head. Wrong side position, wristwatch position, and then the finish position over your opposite arm. But let's try to do it a little faster now. Let's try to get our fluidity back. After all, it is a throwing motion. See if you can get the racket to start accelerating as it drops over your head from the hairbrush position. See if you can make your racket swoosh. Shadow swing fast now. Okay, finally we're going to go from the turn position. Now this is very close to how your actual service motion is going to feel. So I have my continental grip, my arms are loose, I'm on my front foot. I'm going to turn into my turn position, and from here I'm just going to make sure that racket comes up over my head into my hairbrush position, hitting all of those key positions along the way. Keep holding your balance after the hit. Over your opposite arm, eyes at contact, chest up. One more time. Turn. Just like that. Again, 10 or 15 times. If you feel you're losing something, jump back in the progressions. Now let's do one more shadow swing together before we put it all together. Okay, let's review. When serving from the turn position, you're very close to completing your full service motion. Start in the starting position and then go into the turn position where your knuckles are up, your palms down, and your body's coiled. Toss the ball properly out in front, slightly to the right, and spin the ball over the net, holding the freeze position after you're done, where your arms are crossed and your chin and chest are up at contact. Okay, continental grip, arms relaxed, weight on my front foot. Starting position, coil back, the turn position, coiled in, knuckles up. Hairbrush position, racket comes over your head. Wrong side position, wristwatch position, and then the finish position over your opposite arm. But let's try to do it a little faster now. Let's try to get our fluidity back. After all, it is a throwing motion. See if you can get the racket to start accelerating as it drops over your head from the hairbrush position. See if you can make your racket swoosh. Shadow swing fast now. Okay, the only thing left to do is to put it all together. While you're practicing your serve, I recommend doing 2 shadow swings for every 1 ball hit. And also, at this point, I would still stay process-oriented, not outcome. See what happens when you really just try to execute the 6 positions and the 2 principles, see where the ball goes, and then from there, start making tiny adjustments to try to coax the ball into the box. So we're going to try to do the whole motion. Once you're at a place where you feel like you've gotten as far as you can, that's when you want to video your serve and send it in to us for an analysis. Okay, let's just take a second and go over the spin versus the flat serve. Again, they're very similar. So similar, in fact, we can go back to our original progression where we start from the wrong side of the racket, and we can do either shots from here. For spin, I'm going to hit the ball as the racket's pronating, delivering more of a glancing blow to the ball. And for flat, I'm going to hit more at the end of the pronation, at a little more extension. So spend some time trying to go back and forth. See if you can do one spin serve, and then for the next, hit it a little more extension, and see if you can come more straight into the ball for a flat serve. Spend some time on that, going back and forth, trying to figure out how to flatten that serve out. Okay, let's review. When alternating between spin and flat serves, notice the subtle difference in how the pronation occurs for each. Complete the exercise, and now you can incorporate flat serves as well as spin serves into your motion.